I mentioned yesterday, we're going to cover a lot today. Let's just do a kind of quick review of what we are going to cover. Number one, the new homepage I will be covering. And then, of course, the main thing is the franchise and territory software, which I told everyone was going to come today. So I'm going to go through that, and I want everyone to understand that to its greatest extent. Then we also have the not new, but the updated Earn GPT system, which allows you to upload screenshots and allows you, it's a persistent memory in when you're prospecting your customers, really behaving like a sales coach now. We'll do that tomorrow because there's no way we can get through the territories and Earn GPT today. And then we'll also cover tomorrow drops. I don't know if you guys saw this. If you didn't, brace yourselves. It's so cool. Let me just share my screen, and then tomorrow we'll go into it in detail, although I probably should just save it completely for tomorrow. Let me see. Can you guys see my screen? Saying screen share stopped.
Oh, Shorupan left the building. Oh, Shorupan re-entered.
Hey, Alan, could you see my screen? I'm just curious if I could do screen sharing. It says launch your startup within 180 days.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm going to stop sharing. So that's cool. I don't know, Shorupan, if he heard that. Shorupan, I was able to screen share. If you can hear me.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan.
Yeah.
Somebody asked in the chat, if you sell a yearly subscription, do you automatically get put on the board? Did you say no at first? Do you have to have a card, or you know the question I was talking about?
If you sell one, it's the same. If you don't have a spot on the board and you sell one, then you got a spot on the board.
Yeah, that's right. It gets you a spot on the board, right?
Yeah. It's the same as if you have a spot on the board, then now you're going to sell, you're getting a credit. The credit is $1,600. Or I call it a baseball card. Everybody likes to collect those, right?
Yeah. So how do you get on the board? If you sell one yearly subscription, then you get on the board?
If you get somebody to pay for a yearly subscription, you get the sale, and you don't have a board spot, so now you're on the board. Okay? Now, they get the product, and you literally got to tell them that, well, I'm taking the spot on the board. Well, he's already a distributor, so that's a little unfair. So there's going to be a little notice that he has to agree to, saying, oh, yeah, I don't want to go on there. I'm not going in that. And he just takes it. Otherwise, he gets the sale on the board. He gets the spot on the board. And so that gives the spot. Now, if he turns around and wants to play.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
No, wait, while you were doing that, I was able to share.
Everybody's able to share it. Everyone's system is working properly except mine. That's why I was like ripping my head out, and I had to open up a new browser. I'm in Brave now, so it worked well, but it's like it was hanging in my, I was like, I don't know if it was my computer. I don't think it was my computer, but it was basically freezing in my Chrome browser. But and it's just not just to do with the share screen, because like you said, other people are able to share. It's something about me being the host. And anyway, that's yeah, okay, cool. Already recording. Okay, cool. Oh, nice. I have to give Brave access to my screen share now. Oh, Christ.
Well, everybody, when there's a sale made, there's two things happen. One guy gets the sale, the credit for the sale. Another guy gets the spot on the board. So when I bring you in, I create a sale with you. I'm getting the sale. You're getting the spot on the board, right?
That's a little confusing to me.
So every sale comes with one person who sells it and the person who buys it. So the person who buys it gets the spot on the board, which gives you the credit, which gives you the sale. So could you sell it to him where he doesn't get a spot on the board? Yes. You could, but almost nobody would ever do that.
Hey guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Now that we can actually begin, my apologies to anyone who has waited. We can start on what I wanted to show. I will leave for tomorrow drops, which is short form content, which is uber cool, as well as our GPT's updates. Let's go straight into the franchising software and what the implications. Oh, before I do that, I wanted to make an announcement. Martin had already experienced this. So as I mentioned last week, we're onboarding a new payment gateway, particularly for the US market, but it'll work for any markets, for anybody paying in USD, that will not require the 2FA. That doesn't require you to put in the code. It doesn't require the code to be sent. American cards basically are like 50-50 on 2FA. Though some of them have them and work really well, a lot of them do not. And so we had to onboard a new payment gateway that doesn't mandate that. And so we did. We put it into the system. However, that payment gateway requires us to collect, it's actually live right now, but Martin tried it right now and it said you have to put in a couple more details because we didn't want it to redirect. When you used our previous payment gateway, you saw a pop-up, right? Razor Pay pop-up, it would come up and you would put in your information. The new payment gateway Stripe allows us to build in the checkout experience to the actual application. So everything is in the app. It's very cool, like Amazon or something. It looks very cool. However, we still need to add address or a couple of other details, which we haven't included. So once that's added, probably will be added tomorrow. Then Lance, your brother, can retry. I was going to try with Alan's card. Everybody who faced any difficulty with getting the 2FA, whenever you click USD in cards, you will no longer have to do that. So same thing for you, Martin. Please just try again on Saturday and it will work. I'm hoping flawlessly. And once that's confirmed, then the floodgates open because I have so many people who are waiting to pay that just can't get the code for some reason. And so that's fine. Now that the bank is not mandating that, or the PG is not mandating that, we can register everybody and anybody. So yeah, that's just an update on that. Martin, please try again on Saturday. Lance, you can try with your brother again on Saturday as well. And everyone else we will do on Saturday as well and this is only specifically for USD cards, right? The other payment methods people have been buying very much over the last couple of days for the great affiliate package. Okay, with that being said, let us begin on the franchise system. So it is available at franchise.garage.app. Okay. And this was originally the place where I wanted to translate franchise.garage, my spreadsheet. The spreadsheet I had sent to everybody for being able to see the available territories. Sorry, I'll open it up in Chrome to see the available territories and what is left. And so I wanted to create a software that basically allowed people to visualize that. And so we started working on this about 2 weeks ago so that you guys can keep track of it. And then we launched sub-territories, which made things more complicated because then now I had to create the ability for people to create, or for me as the administrator to be able to create sub-territories for every territory. And then we added another layer, which is somebody will eventually run or be in charge of a country, which is sitting above territories in some sense. So we had to create this 3-pronged system where we as Garage at the beginning can sell into can assign any user, any existing Garage member to a country, a territory, and a sub-territory. And we had to make it so that the sub-territories can be filled in over time because there are something in the vicinity of like 15,000 plus sub-territories. And so we don't care about most of them right now because we won't be getting to most of them, but we needed the ability to fill out, dynamically add the ones for the countries that sub-territories are popping up in. Also, remember, until we sell the territory, the sub-territory cannot be sold. So we have to first sell let's say Ontario, before we sell the Greater Toronto area. And so you kind of have to work in that fashion. So all of this is there to be said that we needed to develop a very complex software just to manage our issuance of these territory licenses and sub-territory licenses to the people that are buying the Great Affiliate Package. That's one half of the equation. The second half of the equation is, okay, well, once it's in the database and somebody does buy one, let's say vis-a-vis a Great Affiliate Package, they should be able to log in somewhere, see their territory or sub-territory, and then be able to see all of the offices or businesses that are signing up in their sub-territory. So if you look at the 70 or so businesses that are already on Garage, they all have a postal code which is visible in the maps page. And now I'm going to kill a couple of birds with one stone. We have launched the new Garage website, which is all about e-commerce. So please don't get confused. If you go to garage.app, you'll see our new e-commerce page. As I promised, May 1st, we are starting to onboard the merchants and go into full e-commerce mode. So this has now been updated. However, you can still navigate to the offices page. There on the left-hand side, there are stores, which is where you are right now. If you click offices, it takes you to the regular offices page that you guys are familiar with. And if you click maps, takes you to a Google Maps or was Garage Maps interface of all of the businesses, stores, and offices around the world, where you can see where all of these businesses are. And so this data is being populated through the postal code, the zip code of when a business creates an office. We ask them what's their zip code. And then based on that, we pluck them on the map. That is also the mechanism by which we are assigning them into the sub-territory, territory, and country of the respective franchisee. So we need to add the ability for when a person that owns Ontario logs in, he needs to see the total list of businesses that have been onboarded in Ontario, and then their total revenue, and then the total profit share. So that second part of the franchising application is what we're building now. The first part of the franchising application is what we've already built. And so if you go to franchise.garage.app, you will see this landing page. And at the top, you will see all of the continents along with the general countries page. So in this case, I'm going to walk you through the general countries page, but you can just skip it and go straight to North America or whatever you want. Let's say you do that. Or let's say you just go to countries. It first pulls up a list of every country in the globe, okay? And it says beside the country, how many territories are available in that country and who is the country lead. The only country that has been assigned a country lead is India with PD. So if you want to see what it would look like, you would type in India and you can see there are 36 territories and the country lead has been assigned. Every other country is still available in terms of the country lead. And at the end of this, we can discuss what it would take for us to assign an entire country over to somebody. But that's not important because we're not selling countries, we are selling territories. So what you would need to do is find the country you're interested in. So let's say you're interested in the United States. You can type in United States, 51 territories, you click it. And then you have a countrywide page of all of I haven't made the US territories available. 1 second. I will do that. Yes, there we go. So when you click in the US, and by the way, now every country, every territory, and every sub-territory have their own link. So if you want to share, before that wasn't the case, before it was a drawer. So now if you want to share Alan is always convincing people to take territories. Now you can just find the territory that you're trying to convince somebody of and share them that territory's link. So for example, this is for the US, this is United States, and it shows you the US, it'll come with the cover photo, and it just shows you all the territories in the US, all 51 of them. Here you can filter by price. You can go lowest to highest, or you can go highest to lowest, obviously the highest being California. You can do it by status. You can search XYZ. Now, let's say you want to click California, which is the example I'm going to use.
Do Ontario.
Well, Ontario, I haven't made the sub-territory. I haven't added the sub-territories, but I'll show you what I mean by added that. As soon as it gets marked as sold, the sub-territories appear. So after this call, all of the people that have bought great affiliate packages, I will manually assign the territories to, and the sub-territories will automatically appear for sale for those. But I'll use California as the example right now because I've already done California as an example, okay? So you come here. Now, remember one thing. You can send and you can look straight for the US and see all the territories there. You can then click California, and now you get a California link as well. So this is the profile of a California, and this comes with the owner of the territory, which is still available for California. It shows all of the information which I have put in the spreadsheet directly here. So it shows the 0.1% increase in GDP, what the 20% payment processing share could be, what the price of the territory is, population, what is the quota, founders, all the stuff that you guys have seen. But most importantly, it shows the sub-territories. So in California, there are 58 sub-territories. These in the US, these are administrative districts that are created by the state government. So we just went ahead with whatever the state government already put. We didn't make up anything ourselves. So if you now look at California as what are all the sub-territories, if you go highest to lowest, there are 58, okay? Starting with Santa Clara, Orange County, San Diego, San Francisco, etc., 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 etc. Each of these then have their own page. So let's say we're selling Orange County. You would click Orange County. It comes with its own links directly for Orange County. It pulls up a lot of information. It shows who's available, but it also pulls up the details for that specific sub-territory. It shows the quota percentage. So it shows if California is 5,000 offices, how much offices does this specific sub-territory have to sell in order to keep its quota, the GDP, the payment processing opportunity, etc., etc. So now you can see, and there's this really nice hamburger menu that shows where you are. So you're US, you're in California, you're in Orange County, you're in the specific Orange County link. So now somebody can buy Orange County. Once California is sold, they can take the 58 sub-territories start being sold directly here. And people can see all the details. And of course, the owner of the territory would be incentivized to start selling all of his sub-territories. So we had to create this entire top-down management system that allows this corporate team to be able to add all the sub-territories in all of the territories and then map each of these levels to whoever is going to own it. So whether you're at the country level, there's an owner. Whether you're at the territory level, there will be a public owner. And once you're even at the sub-territory level, there will be a public owner. If it still says still available, that means it's not been taken yet. So as soon as people buy the Great Affiliate Package and they can select which territory they want, it will be publicly assigned to them and then it's off the market. If the territory, for example, California has been assigned, then only the 58 sub-territories become available for purchase. And so all of this is now in place for public consumption and review. You can share the territory, sub-territory, or country links with anyone you want, and you will be able to see who owns that territory, and you can actually contact them because we'll provide the email of the person. Oh, I just launched email. You will provide the email of the person who owns that territory, sub-territory, or country. And all of this is available at franchise.garage.app. Now, once you own at least one territory, sub-territory, or country, you can log into the franchise dashboard. By doing how you do that, you click sign in and you put in your garage email. So I'm going to put in here shorupan@gmail.com, which I actually don't own any territories. So I'm going to go in right now and I'm going to assign Ontario to Alan in live time because I, as the admin, can do that. And then I'm going to log in as Alan because he would own the territory. So what's my code? Let's check that.
Territory.garage?
No, franchise.garage.app. Okay, guys, can you see my screen still? Hello?
Yes.
Hey, please pay attention to this. So this is the franchise. Is it franchisee? Yeah, franchisee dashboard. Okay. Once you log in with your garage credentials, you'll be able to see if you own any countries, if you own any territories, and if you own any sub-territories, along with the cards. If you own them, you'll see them here. That's one thing. The second thing is
What card?
you don't see, I haven't assigned any to myself. So I'm going to assign them to you and I'll show you. So right now, okay? So you have to be assigned, you have to own the territory for them to appear here. And shorupan@gmail.com doesn't own any of them. So I'm going to do the example with you, okay? So I'm the admin, so I have all of the administrative capacity. You guys won't see admin. Nobody sees admin except me, but I'm going to use it right now to show you how the assignee works. So let's go to territory. Let's switch it from the US, but this also gives you an idea, guys, of how sophisticated the admin system is, because that's going to come back at the end of this call, not just for me, but for other people as I extend this capacity. So as the administrator of this franchise program, I go to admin and I click territories. I have some territories, I have countries, but let's click territory. Let's click, no, what country, where am I? Not US, Canada. So we want to go to Canada. And we don't want California. How do we switch out from the states? Oh, we go down.
You got to click on country and then choose Canada.
No, I think, no. I mean, that's a logical thing to say. This is edit territory, but how do I switch? North America for sure. Oh, okay. It's showing me every single one. Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Let's go to, this needs to filter by country, but it's not. It's just showing me all the territories. How in God's name we're going to find Ontario here?
How did you click on countries?
No, countries is me. It's telling.
No, in the top right, the right of
That's
territory.
me editing a country.
Oh,
Not a territory. This is me editing a territory, but that's fine. This is just me having to add a search bar and also filter by country in this edit, because this is basically edit territory. So what I'm doing now is I'm selecting a territory and then I'm editing one or more data points from that territory or assigning it to somebody. So the first thing I have to do is select which territory I'm talking about. And instead of filtering that by country, they've just provided a long list. So that's just our UX issue that I'll fix. But one second. And again, this is only something that the corporate team, administrative team, whatever I have to do.
I'm sure type in O and kill up with the
I know that's what I wanted, but it's not giving me the search option, which I'll add. I'll add all of those things. I just haven't tried it yet. One second. I'm just looking for the Canadian flag. I think it's in some type of order. It's in order of size because California is first. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Ontario, it's probably not that far away from the top. Quebec is there. Well, Ontario has to be bigger than Quebec, right? Yeah, Ontario. Okay. Okay, got it. So Ontario is there, right? It's Canada. It's status available, region North America, blah, 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 blah. So now I'm going to assign this to one of the garage users. So who am I going to assign it to? I'm going to assign it to Red Darren 2020 at mail.com. Okay. And I'm going to look up if this guy exists. Okay. And he does. Alan K, this bizarre profile picture. And these are the offices he's a part of, assigned to this user. Okay. And now I will click save. Okay. Territory updated. Now, if you go or anybody goes to .app, franchise.garage.app, and they look at North America, and they look at all the countries will appear here from North America, including Canada. Oh, there's a lot of islands. So type in CANADA or go straight to Ontario. See. And here, territory owner, Alan. Okay. So now anyone that goes to the Ontario page or anyone that's looking at Canadian territories can see that this territory is taken and it's already owned by Alan, and they can actually reach out to Alan and you'll see why they'll reach out to Alan later on in this call. I've put their email. Okay. So now I'm going to log in as Alan.
See that guy, Alan, he's wearing a pretty nice shirt.
I don't know what type of shirt he's wearing, but I can't see his face.
Oh, well, still wearing a nice shirt.
And now I gotta log into. Alan, you're not logged into your email, right? There's no chance, right? Like,
No.
yeah, of course not. Like a normal human, there's no chance you'd be logged into an email, right? So let me, when her pen just got sent off. Can you guys hear me?
See that Alan guy's wearing a nice shirt, eh?
Am I audible?
I can't see it. What is it?
Hello?
I only see the top part.
It's the same as the picture.
Oh, yeah. No, that ain't.
It's the same shirt as the picture. Oh, let me disappear again.
Am I back?
Yes.
That's so bizarre because I logged out of my garage back office to log into Alan's account, but I did that in a different browser, but it disconnected me from this one. So I guess I'm having way too many logged in accounts across too many browsers, but okay, no problem. Let me open up another browser. So you guys can still see can you guys see my screen?
Now,
Okay, cool. So, Jesus, this is because Alan is not logged in. Okay, so where is it? Let's do this one. And my garage.app. Admin and Shorupan. And another code. And OTPs and Mr. Allen's OPP right there. Okay. So you guys can see my screen.
now,
Okay, boom. I logged in as Alan to the franchisee app. Okay. And what territory do I see? Ontario.
Joe.
So now he has no countries, one territory, and no sub-territories. And estimated monthly revenue, that's obviously based on the projection. That will become, what's important now is that all these statistics after June 1st, June 20th, will become live data points. They will not be estimations anymore. They will be directly proportionate to the business volume that's happening in your territory, sub-territory, or country. Okay?
Wow, right.
In addition to that, you will be able to click on territory and show all the sub-territories. You'll see the sub-territories that are in your place. I haven't added for Ontario yet because I just assigned Ontario, but you'll be able to see all of the territories inside of your sub-territories, and you'll be able to see who owns them, and you'll be able to make sure that they're also, you can see their numbers as well, because their numbers are what sums up your numbers. So like Ontario, if you own Ontario and 14 other people own the sub-territories, you will be able to see all those and their numbers so that you know that you're hitting your numbers. Does that make sense?
We were talking about the sub-territory. If you put 10 and I needed 100, the sub-territories average was 10 each. I thought we were talking about 250%, so 25 average each.
Yeah, again, this is not counting under which grounds we're taking away your territory. This is just showing your total quota right now.
I understand what I'm saying is if I sold 4 territories out of my 10, those 4 would equal what I need for the whole territory.
Oh, yeah. No. Those 4 would equal 40% of what you would need for your whole territory. You said 4.
That's what I'm saying. If your sub-territory, you're getting much smaller space that you can literally one person can pay attention to. So therefore, they not need 100, right? Time divided by 10. We need a smaller number, 10, but I think we talked about 25, 10 about 12.
You're talking about what should be the quota of the sub-territory. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah, that's fine. What I'm saying is, anyway, we can define that now because the whole system is built. We can define now in California, where I have actually divided up the sub-territories, I've made it proportionate. I made the quota proportionate to the GDP percentage of that administrative district.
What I'm saying is because it's such a smaller area and you have the ability to do it personally.
Bigger quota than as a percentage of GDP than it is for the total guide. Yes,
right.
Be true as well. I'm not against that. That's a really good point. We can discuss with the owner of the territories what the quota distribution should be. We are not discussing with the owner of the territories what the sub-territory should be, because that's just madness. That's just going to follow whatever the government
Too
state.
much time and effort. But we talked about it being, because we were talking about 100 divided into 10, every 10 each. So
Oh, agreed. I'm assuming
you just said it. You're
just-
just 25, not agreed.
I hope you're just simplifying for math's sake, because it's never distributed evenly by 10, right?
I understand that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm simplifying for math.
Yeah, that's fine. And then all you're saying is, if hypothetically Los Angeles County is actually 50% of the entire state of California, instead, and let's say all of California's quota is 100 offices, instead of LA County getting 50, you want them to get like 60 or 70, something more than their proportion. Is that correct?
125 actually.
But whatever you're saying, you just want it to be greater than the direct proportion. Is that correct?
Right. So
Yeah.
if I'm missing one or two, I'm going to be good as a
Yeah,
whole.
sure. Yeah. That's pretty good. We can decide what that is. Now that the system is in place, we can decide what that is. But
Third order wants to fill them all anyways.
yeah, I mean, but I don't think it'll be double and a half. Maybe it'll be like 25% more, because it's because one thing that you will see is that you're in a state like California, you're not going to sell all 58. You may, but because the smallest sub territory in California is like useless. Actually, it's like some tiny. I don't even know what it's called, like Siena or Vienna. I don't even know what it's called. I checked it. But it's like it's an offshoot. It's like nobody lives there. You will get so much of your value from Orange County, Santa Clara, San Francisco. Like in the case of California, in the case of Ontario, you'll get so much of your volume from those places anyway. Which is why I said repeatedly, and now it's just visually provable. It's more lucrative from an ROI and a work perspective to own the best sub territories as opposed to the biggest territories, because the biggest territories, no matter how great they are, still encompass parts of that state or province that are not so great, right? Whereas if you just take LA County, or if you take
that was really the point.
you can actually catch
because
this with one of those big cities, right?
I'm home in that one specific area. My quota for that area should be quite a bit more, but it's very smaller, very distinct, which I can get to myself personally.
Yeah, understood. No problem. So now, but let's continue with this. I want to go through the rest of this here. So you guys can see my screen, right? I'm back on screen share.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's say Alan also owned one of the sub territories for Ontario. Let's say he owned Toronto. I would assign him Toronto, and he would see that here as well. See, he would see all the countries he owned, he would see all the territories he owned, and he would see all the sub territories. Right now, he's only been assigned Ontario, so he only sees Ontario. But he'll be able to see all of the cards in one place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Next point is on the left-hand side, you can see there's two other pages. There's something called Business CRM, and there's called Wallet. So these two are the second part of this franchise software. Sorry. The second part of the system, which is now going to be built, is every time an office signs up in your territory, you will see it under Business CRM. This is not real data for Ontario. I'm just showing it as an example. Here, Alan or whoever owns Ontario, whatever your account is, for the territories, countries, and sub-territories you own, you will see all the offices. You will see what their last month's revenue was. You can contact the founder, and you can see the date they joined. So you can see what your top line volume is for your payment processing. So, and tomorrow, if a business gets registered and they put Ontario postal code, it will automatically appear here. So you can see every business within the territories that you own. That's the second page, which is Business CRM. The third page, which is the franchisee wallet, is obviously showing you your commission or your revenue share in each of those businesses. So you will actually, there's one part of this wallet is also not live because this part has not gone live, both Business CRM and wallet, but I want to show you what it would look like. My territories are live, but in the wallet page, you will have a wallet per territory you own. And that territory will be extracting profit sharing, revenue sharing from the businesses that are in that territory in live time. Let me repeat that. That happens not per month or per day. It happens per transaction. So let's say Alan does in fact own Ontario. Tomorrow, a business gets registered with an Ontario postal code. The very next day, they sell something on Garage, the e-commerce platform, which is $10. Somebody buys that, right, from the business that's in Ontario. Whether that person that bought it is in Ontario or not is irrelevant to this case. That transaction, let's say it has a 5% payment processing fee, would be 50 cents, right? 50 cents is 5% of $10. And Alan's cut for owning the territory is 20% of that. So immediately 10 cents would appear inside of his franchisee wallet for that territory. So then he'll be able to extract reports and see revenue projections. And of course, his goal should be two things. How can I get my sub-territories to sell more businesses? And how can I sell more businesses? This is the other vector we have not discussed, but is so important. How can I get the businesses that are in my territory to sell more stuff? Right? Because the more stuff they sell, and not my stuff, their stuff. So whatever they're interested in selling, the territory owner or the sub-territory owner is incentivized to be like, you're the best performing business in my territory. You're not even in my downline, but you're the best performing business. I want to help you sell more of whatever it is that you're selling. Because that
we talked about this earlier. We're talking about 1%, right? The guy walks with 1%. So if he had $1 million business doing a month, that'd be 10,000. And from that, he would get 75% as the sub-territory owner. The territory owner would get 25%. So
yeah, I've actually streamlined that as well on the left. Can you guys see my bottom left-hand side? I've put what each level gets. Okay. So the country head is a new addition, but I'll explain that at the end. But if you look at territory rev share, it's 5%. Okay. And sub-territory rev share is 15%. Together, that's the 20% I've always explained, right? So if you own, and then the 20% is divided up 75-25. Are you guys following?
no, I missed that.
Hey, I know this is slightly, because we've discussed it in a different way, but it's the same numbers. I just want to explain it again, okay? So we're talking about total payment. We're not saying 1%. Don't say 1% anymore. We're talking about a percentage of total payment processing revenue.
With 20%.
Yeah, exactly. And then I've divided up that 20 between the territory owner and the sub-territory owner.
Okay.
Which is 5 and 15, which is 75-25. If you take 25, you're following, right? So the sub-territory owner always gets 15%
3/4 of the money
of the whatever we charge. And the reason I would rather do it like this than say 1% is, no, if a business is doing $1 million a month, we're charging 5% as Garage.
But the sub-territory is getting 75% of the money.
Or just say, instead of saying 75% of the money, just say 15% of whatever the business pays in payment processing. Does that make sense? It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same, yeah.
It's the same thing. The territory owner gets 5% of whatever Garage is charging that business, and it's all transparent. You will see what Garage is charging that business. It's not possible for this to be done analog. This is all automated, right? Like as the transaction goes through on Garage Pay, it's all automated in live time. It's too much data to ever do a deal piecemeal. But of course, if we land a business that is doing $5 million a month e-commerce, we're not charging him 5%, right? We're going to drop that rate so that we secure that client. Maybe we end up charging him 2.5%. Whatever we charge him,
of that divided by 15.5.
Exactly. Whatever we charge him, the sub-territory owner is making 15% and the territory owner is making 5%. Now, if Alan owns both the territory and the sub-territory, he'll make 20%. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and of course he's allowed to buy up to 2 territories.
He's allowed to buy 2
territories within his territory.
Yes, 2 sub-territories within his territory he's allowed to purchase. So he'll be getting 20% on all the business transactions within those 2 sub-territories, and still 5% of all the other businesses that happen in his territory. And by the way, if a sub-territory is not sold, he still gets 20%.
Correct.
Right? So if he owns Ontario, but Thunder Bay has just not been sold to anybody because nobody wants it, and then a business registers with the Thunder Bay postal code, he gets the full 20%. Okay?
Right.
So he could technically end up getting 20% on a lot of his territory, depending on how popular his
Until
sub-territory
they're sold off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The country head gets also 5%. Okay. So
So you're actually giving up 30.
giving up 25%.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
15 plus 5 plus 5. I'm losing more money, Alan, but you're correct. You've pointed it out. I'm losing more money because I want to incentivize country heads.
Like, but you're keeping 70%. So you're still doing well.
Not really, because at the beginning, well, of course, over time, the goal is to do well. But at the beginning, I have the least amount of leverage with my payment gateway partners. So I have to accept their taker rate. So if you look at Stripe, which is what we've just onboarded for the States, right? It's pretty transparent. You can check what Stripe charges. So Stripe pricing is 2% for cards issued in India and 3% for cards issued outside of India. So let's say, I mean, that's because I'm on the Indian website, but let's just average it at 2.5%, okay? So 2.5% is gone to Stripe. Roughly if it's 25%, 1.25% is gone to all franchise levels, the country, the territory, and the sub-territory, which would be 3.75 is gone, right? I would be left with 1.25. But that's assuming I'm charging 5%. When I end up charging 3%, Stripe is we're still probably not in a position to negotiate with Stripe just because we have a $1 or $2 million a month business, right? Stripe is used to dealing with like Tesla and them. So they might, we'll add always payment partners. We'll try to compress the general cost of payment process, but we make less than all the other parties at the table. We definitely make less than the payment processor, and we make less than the total franchise.
Talking payment processing, we're not just talking about Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and PayPal or Apple Pay, but we're talking about whatever fiat money and crypto, right?
Yeah, crypto we make good money because crypto doesn't charge us 2.5% to.
Like you make good money.
Yeah, we make more money on crypto. But one more thing I would say is the reason that we're being this aggressive is because our long-term goal is to replace Stripe and Razorpay. Our long-term goal, by long-term, I mean like 12 months, is to get the payment gateway license in the US, India, and in the EU to start off.
I think there's a huge value in letting people pay in every possible way.
Oh, of course. We're already what they would call the best merchant. It's called a merchant of record. So basically what we are is we are the record keeper on all payment types for a particular business. So we're already the best probably at that. But then we want to win really at payment processing. And eventually, once we get our POS license, we'll have terminals that go into physical stores. It'll become like an entire business. But coming back to this system, this is super cool. This realistically is like my goal, just, not to get too kind of ephemeral, but I think I've told Alan this, is that McDonald's has created the most amount of millionaires in history. So basically owning a McDonald's franchise anytime between 1970 and 2026 is you're going to end up with $1 million business. And therefore, because they franchise virtually all of their stores, that has created the largest entrepreneurial wealth opportunity in history. We want to top that with the garage franchises. We want to believe that everyone that owns definitely a country, definitely a territory, but even most sub-territories are inheriting $1 million businesses over the span.
Do you know that Kentucky Fried Chicken's franchises, they own almost all of them, the company?
No, it's a lot of franchise, no? Or are you saying it's corporate?
No, they own almost all of them, if not all of them.
No, I don't. I mean, maybe that's true in the US, but I think in other countries they franchise them, because in India, KFC is super popular and it's like one of the most expensive franchises you can buy. But maybe in the US, it's they own all of them. Of course, the great exception. Starbucks never franchised in the US except for like 10 or 15 locations. So they're pretty corporately owned. But again, that's fine. They have their reasons for doing that. But I'd much rather prefer what McDonald's did. From everybody's angle, it's more beneficial. It benefited every single person way more than the other way around. And we think we could create something more special than that with the Garage franchise program. So now, two things are here that are really big. when you have this type of sophisticated franchise management software, and when you've already gone through the absolutely grueling task of recreating the world and creating all the data for the sub-territories and the territories and the countries and the management system and quotas and blah, blah, blah. What you have now is you have probably, if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken because to be honest, I haven't done much research on this. You have the infrastructure layer for maybe the best franchising software in the world, meaning now let's say somebody that's not Garage, but comes on Garage and uses Garage first and foremost. They use the office, they add the comp plan, right? They add the comp plan to their products. Let's just use the ladies that Lance met today. They're selling skincare, or they want to sell skincare. So they come onto Garage, they create the comp plan, they put a comp plan together. Now everybody in Garage makes money if they sell that product. And let's say that starts to do well. Maybe we have a rule that says, hey, once you do, I don't know, $50,000 a month or $25,000 a month in Garage through our system, which means it's not really about you. It's to see if Garage actually works for you at scale because we want it to serve you. Then you got whoever that owner is of that business can say, I want to tap in to this Garage franchisee network. That's all.
One more feature.
Just one second, Alan. So first of all, if it was just the software, it's still valuable, enormously valuable, because what I can say is I'm giving you the admin system that I have for myself, and you can use the carved up world that we spent all this time creating, and you can start selling your franchisees in those locations. So you can take California and sell it to Lisa, and you can take blah, 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 and you can sell it and build your own franchise program. But to take it one level further than that, you don't even need to do that part. We already have the people in those areas that want to sell stuff. We've already sold all the franchises. So if you don't have the requirement to sell your own, and if you want to sell your own, you could do that. But let's just say most business owners don't know people across the entire world that, they don't have that infrastructure. That's why I publicly put the owner of the territories, so that tomorrow when a business owner who's in China looks at the Ontario page for Garage, they can see Alan and they can say, oh, I'm already successful in China on Garage, or maybe I'm not even on Garage, but I want to expand into Ontario. I will tap Alan, because Alan's clearly already succeeding in Garage in Ontario, and incentivize him to become the franchise owner for my product, which is currently only sold in China. So we can then create the owners of the Garage territories, potentially. I have not figured this out at all. You can see I'm thinking in live time.
I'm going to give it to you right now.
Let me just say one more sentence. Don't forget it. Just stay right there. Don't forget what you said. The owners of the Garage territories, which we think can be $1 million business on just the payment processing, could potentially inherit, depending on the way that we want to do it, the franchisor licenses for every product on Garage that wants to create their own franchise program.
Agreed.
So sorry, Alan, you were trying to say something,
All right.
it's
because this reminds me of the exact thing, what I call paint by numbers. Now in the paint by numbers, I'm taking the software of number of bargaining plan, first level, second level, third level, put in how much I want to do, each level one. So we don't know the real design of that guy's product and how he is 10, 20, 30% available. We don't know. We have to let him fill in the blanks, and then the computer makes it, right? So I'm saying when it comes to the franchise, that's somewhat the same. Because think about on the Coca-Cola machine. Okay, I want a Coca-Cola machine every mile inside of a city, right? So that to him is his territory. Within 1 mile radius, that Coca-Cola machine, you can't have any more Coca-Cola machines. So I buy that territory. That's my territory for Coca-Cola machines, 1 mile radius inside London, Ontario, for example, right? Or a pop machine, or just a vending machine, okay, as an example. Or as simple as maybe a small store franchise, like haircutting place, whatever. So the franchise has a certain territory. He doesn't have to have the whole city. He needs like a 2 mile radius, 5 mile radius per that area is his. nobody else can put a haircutting place, his name in that area. So in other words, there has to be a way to bring it down to some bare little level. And the best way to do that is not to pre-pick it, but to give him an option that you go in, how much space you want, and what's the maximum in an area, whatever. And then they put in a couple of numbers, like paint by numbers, in other words, and poof, that's your franchise size.
Well, but that only works. I mean, that's more for offline businesses, that logic, right? But most of the businesses that are on Garage are selling online.
No, I'm not. We're selling it online, but it's a specific machine is in a specific location.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. You're just assuming that the monetization activity is in a location. And if it's such, if it is, we can do what you're saying. I honestly have not run into that case yet. You have. I know you have. That's why you're saying that. And for those type of businesses, such as a vending machine, such as an electricity generator or EV charging, where it's literally the value is being accrued in a one location.
And I don't want to.
And makes sense. That's even more sophisticated than what I'm talking about. So we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. But I wanted to take it one step back and say, think about the biggest use case, which is obviously e-commerce, right? So when somebody is selling online, right? So when you come to Lance's friends who are selling skincare, so when a new entrepreneur starts a brand, especially they're going to launch it on Garage, that beautiful e-commerce, and sell it all over the world, they're not franchising immediately because they don't even know if their thing is going to work yet. Once they launch on Garage for virtually no downside risk, their risk is $96 per month. I mean, it's literally no downside risk. So they launch on Garage, and let's say they do well because we give them the general affiliate distribution, right? So we have thousands and hopefully millions of affiliates. They like their products. They sell them. They make money. Everybody's happy. Boom. Now they start to think, which is like, oh, wow, I'm making $25,000 a month or $50,000 a month in my skincare company. Clearly, people like my product. Clearly, affiliates like selling my product. Once you've determined that, now they can be based in New York. They're selling all over the world. They don't care where their customers are coming from, right? Now, and they're selling online through Garage, and it's getting shipped all over the world. Now, once they want to enable franchises, what are they? An online business, e-commerce business, digital or e-commerce, they're looking for people who they can bestow a responsibility on for a particular region, right? So you would say, okay, I'm in New York, I'm the business owner, I'm already in New York, I'm selling across the world, but I really wanted to penetrate Brazil. So I want to find the franchisee in Brazil for my skincare product. I want to pay them more than what I'm paying the regular affiliates on Garage. And maybe there's an upfront investment. A lot of times with e-commerce, you have to ship a bunch of inventory to Brazil in advance. Like there's some logistics there if there's going to be a real franchisee, and we can build a lot of that software. But now just think about it, Alan, if what I'm saying works. You have to assume e-commerce works for what I'm also saying works, right? Like, and we've launched that now. So make that assumption. Every company, like again, you have Ontario, just think about how valuable that is. Every company around the world, forget about even e-commerce, just think about every existing MLM in the world that wants to tap Ontario would first and foremost come to you, right? Because why would they want to go recruit a new person, head of Ontario, potentially pay salary, potentially do a million things, when Garage literally already has a person who is highly, highly dominant in Ontario because they've already bought the territory, they've already hit their quotas. You could be the franchise owner for hundreds, if not thousands of products just by owning at Garage territory, because all these companies, MLM companies, will want a person in Ontario to bestow the responsibility on. So I don't know what yet. We definitely don't know what the comp will be for the franchise owners for other products. That will let the companies decide. And I don't know how we as Garage are going to charge the franchise owners for these additional opportunities. But this you owning Ontario, apart from the payment processing, that's why you bought it, or that's why you took it, end up becoming your right to inherit all these distribution advantages from all these other
knows that he's already got all these sub-territory people in Ontario. if he could put it through his network,
Come
we
on.
could all have a second
Come on.
territory, second franchise of a second item.
And it could be a million items is what I'm saying, right? Because there's
What I'm saying is that you got to have the ability to make the territories. The person makes it in his own size. I want so many in a city. I want so much per population, whatever. And so we got a paint by numbers addition. So you got your territory and sub-territory,
Yeah.
and then a paint by number addition. Usage or don't usage doesn't matter. It's just an option.
I mean,
right?
that would be, again, more for physical businesses. You're talking about sub territories, and that would be more for physical businesses. It doesn't make sense to further divide up Brampton, Ontario. Like, it
Sure
doesn't.
does.
No, unless you're running a Tim Hortons, unless you're running a Starbucks.
Now, Tim Hortons has how many locations in
That's what I'm trying to say. Unless you're running a Starbucks, which has inside of Brampton 30 locations.
Pop machine. How many pop machines are in?
I get it. Those are similar. Those are similar in nature, right? My first job was at McDonald's. They taught me all about this. They're like, yo, you could put a McDonald's on every street. People will still go. I get it, right? That's not the majority of businesses in the world. Those are businesses that sell like fast food or coffee or like very specific things that people need to
Vending
use.
machine.
Vending machines, I agree. What about the big one, which is EV, like electric power for electric cars? Like those, that's becoming
And you'd only want one every so often.
Of course, and that's becoming, and you'd still want 30 in Brampton because people need to charge their cars. That's becoming massive business. So what about parking? There's so many things once you get
that's what I'm saying. The owner who's selling his franchise, he
I
can
get it.
make
Yes,
by
yes,
numbers
yes.
the size he
I
wants.
know, but that's based on the nature of the business. I mean, and we're going to get there. That's very granular approach, and that's incredible, and we'll definitely get there. But what I'm saying is we've already gotten, if we sell out our territories, or if we sell out 1,500, again, I haven't checked this, but I'm almost positive we'll be the biggest franchise network in the world. Like in terms of open-ended franchise network where somebody can just drop in a product, not close. Obviously, McDonald's is the biggest franchise network in the world, but they're not. You can't go and drop your product into their 56,000 franchisees. We're talking about an open.
New companies that have 36,000 pretty quickly.
Pardon me?
They have 36,000 franchises, but they're 1.4 million, 1.5 million each. So
yeah, 1.5 million buy-in, not value. They're worth more than that. The buy-in is like 1.4, 1.5.
So the way you sell things that are only 10 grand or 20 grand, you have a lot of them.
So now, couple of things, pending things about this franchise system. Numero uno. I need all the names people have been sending me. Now they actually matter because just like Ontario is now off the books because I just assigned it to Alan in front of you. I cannot, it's not possible for me to assign Ontario to somebody else right now because in the system, only one owner per territory or one owner per sub-territory or one owner per country. Okay. So all the names that have been penciled in until now, I'm going to just go ahead and assign them. Okay. And I'm going to give the grace until Saturday night for those people who are penciled in to pay. And the reason I'm saying I'm giving the grace until Saturday night is because it will take me until Saturday morning, Eastern Standard Time to fix this.
Tomorrow is a holiday, right?
Bro, I found out about that today and I was furious. Tomorrow is when I woke up and my HR, we're becoming,
I know, it's crazy.
we're becoming a professional now. Like had this been like last year, it would have been no chance. But anyway, now we have like an HR who forces me to give government holidays.
I'm just saying, Saturday.
Well, install the email or my message from my HR telling all my employees, hey, it's a government holiday tomorrow. I'm like,
can't you go to Monday night?
Labor. You know what I said back? I said there's no such thing as Entrepreneurs Day, so there should not be such thing as Labor Day.
That's right, exactly.
Until you give me an Entrepreneurs Day, I don't want to hear about a Labor Day. But anyway, that's not how the world works. So yeah, you're right. That's why tomorrow is Friday in India. Well, it's Friday everywhere. So that's why I'm saying Saturday because my team won't be back.
Just give it till Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sure. I mean, it's not a big deal for me. But what I'm saying is, as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, Saturday.
So what you're saying right now, you're going to pencil everybody in.
No, it's no longer a pencil. I'm going to go and administratively assign everybody in the database and it's off. It means it's done.
Okay. So what if the guy hadn't paid yet?
Anybody that you or Alance or anybody told me, I'm just going to go do it, even though they haven't paid. I've also created the admin dashboard for all the great affiliates. So I know who's paid and who's not paid now. That just came out. So by Monday, if you say Monday, I will go back and say XYZ hasn't paid. I'm removing their territory and I'm putting it back up for sale. Okay. And the reason I said Saturday is because by Saturday, you guys can try with the US cards or European cards or any cards again, and it will work because some people want to pay, they just can't. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to extend that. Are we clear? Okay, so that's the first thing about backlogged franchisees.
So, you want my list?
No. Just send it to me after the call, and I need their emails. I can't find them without their emails. Okay, so that's one thing. My second point is beyond Monday. Once you buy the great, let's say on Tuesday, a completely new person, his name is John Smith, comes and buys Washington State. Great. He first has to do the regular process, buy his one package, buy the 3 extra packages. He'll get all of his rewards, which I've discussed on previous calls, which is the 3 months network change free XYZ. And he still has to manually tell me in the great affiliate chat that I want Washington, because even though I've built this system franchise software, there's no auto assign feature yet. There is auto assign for all the other rewards, such as 3 months network chains and 12 month fund, but there isn't auto assign for the franchises. At some point in the next 2 weeks, there will become auto assign for franchises as well. So as soon as you end up buying the 3 additional affiliate package, you'll be able to select from a list of free territories and it'll be automatically assigned. So that's the second point. That's for beyond Monday. At any point, if you would like to check if something is free, you don't need to ask me. You can go to franchise.garage.app, select the country, select the territory, select the sub-territory, and you can see if anybody owns it. It's all live data. Okay? So as of next week, we'll be doing another call. One of the calls next week will be about the second part of the franchise software, which is the ability to see all the businesses in live time. Okay, to see all the businesses that sign up under you in lifetime. And so these are the things coming down the chain with the franchise system. And it is, these things take on a life of their own. Like when I created the Great Affiliate Program, which was like less than a month ago, or about, I think it was April 4th, I never thought that I would have to invest this much time and resources into building a franchise management system. And I never thought it would be 3 layers. I never thought it'd be so sophisticated. And of course, by investing that time and resources and doing this, we've now created an enormous opportunity for other businesses. And I just want to hammer that home. Every single thing we do is like that, right? We go out of our way to try to create it for ourselves, knowing that whether it's the article sharing or the video sharing or blah, blah, blah. This list is endless. It's all about, okay, well, we're going to use this to promote Garage, but then after June 20th, somebody else is going to use this infrastructure that we've laid to promote their business. And we're essentially the guinea pig, right? We're the ones that are ironing out the kinks so somebody else does have to. And so that's the vibe. It's really, really, really cool. And I do believe it's like an enormous wealth management, wealth creation opportunity. It's very accretive. So with that being said, tomorrow's call, we will cover the new Earn GPT, the new drops, drops is so cool inside of Garage. And then on Monday, tomorrow,
your number 1 billion.
You saw that, right? That is my first reel. You know what's crazy about that? My favorite number is 1 billion. But what's crazy about that is that we're literally entering a competition with the two greatest companies of all time, probably Meta and Google, because the drops is our response to Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. However, with it being said, you could, when you create a drop, post a YouTube short. You don't have to upload it from your computer. So you could publish on YouTube and then post it directly into Garage and it would still populate in the drop system. But remember, we're not adding drops, articles, short form content, long form content because we just want to. We're adding it because we do something YouTube cannot, which is allow other people to share your drop with their affiliate link, right? And so, or other people share your article. So tomorrow we'll cover all of that.
Yeah, it's making me think. Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, so there's a lot of short form marketing coming out, but I think short form marketing will also be the the way that any company sells anything, right? More or less.
Well, let's just give you an idea. Okay, there's this new company about to come in. It's called Bat 246. Okay, and there'll be some areas like India where it might be weak.
I guess, I don't know.
North America is feeling pretty strong. Philippines will probably become pretty good.
Potentially.
That's like India, or we talk I don't know, some New Zealand, okay, where it doesn't have a lot of strength. Well, imagine if there was a territory owner that owned New Zealand, everybody that goes through the border at the top making 1,600, wherever they live happens to be New Zealand, the New Zealand guy gets paid because he owns the territory.
That's exactly what we're saying.
That's right.
Mm.
Right? Now, I want to get to the world, not just North America, not just India, not just England or Philippines, but I want to get to the world.
I have a question for all three of you, right? Should we enforce the brand, in this case, Bat 46 or whatever, tomorrow XYZ company, to use the territory owners that we already have, or should we allow them to get their own?
Allow them to get their own. It's just an option to plug in.
I also agree with. I think that we should just say to them, we should say to the brand, hey, you should give first right of refusal to our territory owners.
Consider it the first time. We didn't even give them first right of refusal. First option, because maybe these guys got no results, right?
No, he won't own the territory if he has no results, because if he doesn't hit his quota, he's out of here.
But I mean, no results as in little, right? Maybe he owns it just, but he's not impressive.
Yeah, but he's still probably more impressive than the business owner who has no clue about that region.
Well, that may be true. That's an option.
Yeah, what I'm saying, yeah, I agree with you. My point being is I do think that we should allow the business owner to sell his own territories.
I think if the guy wants to open an area, then just give him a list of all the people that are there in the territory, selling territories as it is. I already have garage territory.
Which that means that, hypothetically speaking, somebody comes along, they can give Ontario for their product to somebody else.
They could.
Is what you're saying. I see both. I see the pros and cons of both, and I don't know the right answer, but I think it should be an option.
Is that the owner is going to be, maybe he has a cousin, relative, or whatever for that area. That's
of course. He doesn't have it for most areas. He may have it for one, right?
True. Yeah. Or one or two, Everybody's going to use the network already there. It's a free ride. Really.
Nobody wants to rebuild. I mean, this is.
So, but if I want to rebuild because I don't like that particular guy or whatever, then it's not.
Or maybe it's a male that owns that territory, and you ideally want a female because it's a female product or some reason. Right? So many reasons, right? Right. So I do think
that's optional.
Yeah.
But it's not that the option can't be put in front of them.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, you're opening this area. These are the territories already with people running it. Told people the option to go with them, or they talk to them and decide not to.
And also, a lot of traditional businesses, even e-commerce businesses, they'll require the franchisee or the territory owner to buy inventory up front, and you may not want to, right? So you may just not be,
that's another option.
So you might even reject it, saying, no, I'm not interested in this, in which case it could go to somebody else, right? Yeah, very cool, very interesting. Like
when did you say folks in the US will be able to use their card?
Without OTP.
Saturday night.
Yeah.
I have Gene Lewis in there.
Yep. He was on the call today. Yeah. So he can try Saturday night. Lancer Brother can.
Saturday night.
Yeah. Everybody, I have a list of people whose payments failed. And this goes back to even people that just tried to pay the $25 and their payment failed because of the fact that they didn't get the OTP. I'll reach out to those people as well. All of them can try again.
I want to go watch your territory owner for a second. And not specific, boil it down and let the guy choose paint by numbers to the sizes that he wants. He wants 5 house, 1 house, so he wants so much population, whatever. But I'm saying that in particular because I know quite a few things that would be multiples in one city. So it's not just a big territory, it's multiples in one city. And even inside that, divided the city of 500,000 population into 5 areas, then you could have maybe 20 in each area, as an example.
Yeah.
That's
talking about sub territories, right? Yeah.
A sub territory, but I wouldn't call it a sub territory. I think I call it the name actually.
Okay.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Cool. With that being said, thank you so much, guys, for attending today's call. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Take care.
Wait, can you call me right now and I'll give you the ones I got?
I'll send you a message.
Idea I'm just talking about.
Done.